The water from this development, Sunset neighborhood or Sunset Boulevard, Northeast 10th Street, and the Renton Highlands, stormwater runoff from those areas are flowing into this bioretention cell. And what's going on is it's 18-inch layer of compost and sand, and then it flows into an infiltration gallery underneath. So this bioretention cell is going to treat that water through the soils and the plants. It's also connected, so it kind of flows through here. And then under that is an infiltration gallery. So we've got 5 pipes that have slats in them, little slats, and it's in a 3-foot layer of rock. It has a lot of space in between those rocks, so the water can be stored in that area. And then in those slotted pipes, if it gets too high, they'll overflow into those pipes and go out into the storm system downstream. The reason why that's important is because we've got, we need to slow those flows down. It will cause erosion if it's comes out into the stream too quickly. We also have in this area, in this park, permeable pavement. These are permeable concrete pavement, so you can pour water through it.
You can be our lovely assistant.
If you want to try, you can pour it on this pavement, which is just regular pavement, and then you can pour it here and see what the difference is. Yeah.
Pour it on this one.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Okay, what's happening?
It's not going anywhere.
It's making a puddle.
Okay,
We're making a puddle.
now pour it in the permeable.
Wow.
And it's gone, right?
Wow.
Have you ever noticed this pavement? Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably not, right? I mean, or maybe. Yeah. But that, it's designed to do that. Yeah. Yeah.
So under here we've got the same similar thing. You've got a whole rock layer of rock, and that can hold the water and store it until it can infiltrate into the ground.
That one
below.
is almost like a soil, right? When you pour the water, it's just like
Thank you.
Like a
sucks it
drain.
up. Yeah.
Anyone can try that.
Yeah. But Christina, could you talk about, so looking around here, you see this big green space, you see these nice, park-like area, playground, but we see a lot of housing. So that question was, will we have housing in some of these facilities? And Christina, do you want to touch on how the community decided what they wanted here? It was a different process then, but go ahead.
I don't know the answer fully to that question.
Yeah.
I can't tell you, but before this park was developed, it was World War II housing. There was 13 duplexes on this site. When they redeveloped it, we wanted more housing. We had multi-family projects. We have 6 new projects with affordable housing. This complex is 686 units. It's at the end of it. I think it will also be developed in that grassy area. But 275 affordable housing units, 315 market rate units, 96 townhomes, and 36,000 square feet of retail, and 1,000 parking spots. So a lot more opportunities in this neighborhood than what was here before.
Thank you. And I want to emphasize that reflects a lot of concerns that communities have had, that if we build a nice fancy park somewhere, the property prices are going to go up and it won't be affordable to live there. Gentrification.
Yes.
And so Renton has approached it knowing that it's, and play facilities and pieces that the community, that also it houses communities and brings people out to build community as well. So when we get to Blair's part, and he's talking about our public involvement piece, that's really where it's important, your role with the connection to communities, to give us that feedback and help design these future places.
And this is kind of a demonstration of what can be done, at a large scale. This can also be done at a small scale on your property, single family homes, or in a smaller setting. So we'll go see a little bit more of what that looks like on the street.
Yep. Yep.
Any questions for here?
You know, in fact, it was my first house in the U.S. You know, permanent house. I lived by the Safeway on Sunset Boulevard. Is it close here?
Sunset,
Boulevard, yeah. By the Safeway. That's my first house.
Yeah.
This is a nice place.
Yeah, there's parties here all the time. You know. Little birthday parties over there.
I love Renton.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
this building in a partnership with the city of Renton, or who will kind of
City
pay
of-
for the land?
City of Renton. Well, this is Renton Housing Authority originally, and so there was partnership between City of Renton, Renton Housing Authority to build this park.
Mary, you just mentioned the community involvement, how the community really can involve in a project like this. Let's say it's in South Park or
Yep.
Ballard or Queen Anne, how the community can approach the county and develop some kind of project like this.
Yeah, we're gonna focus in Skyway and White Center and Duwamish, but you know we're happy to hear from communities all over King County and Puget Sound too, our city partners and county partners. The public involvement piece, we need to do a better job. You know, we've been pretty oblivious, I would have to say, to a lot of communities, but we're much more tuned in now, and people really want to hear from communities about, you know, what they want and need in our, when we spend public dollars to create these things. And part of it as well is, you know, we are healthier as humans, families, communities when our habitat is healthier. We know that. We know now that time in nature, having access to nature plays a big role not just in our mental and physical health, but also our clean water, our clean air, and for climate, cooler temperatures, all of those pieces that we now appreciate much more. And so we want to work with communities to build those in as well.
Mary, you also have been working in a cemetery park.
Yeah.
There's another
Yes.
project here in the city of Renton.
Yeah.
Could you please, you want to talk a little bit about the cemetery park and how the community really need to be present in that?
Yeah.
The relation it has.
Yeah. We have. You want to talk about
I
cemetery?
can take the.
The cemetery pond, you know, King County has a lot of really cool hidden things that are super fun to visit for families, students, teachers, and Cemetery Pond is one of them. There are beaver there. Who here has seen beavers out in the pond? Yeah, okay, we'd be happy to take you on a tour there. And then we've got, gosh, what else did we see out there? And really great birds and other pieces. So it's a wetland, so it shows the plants, the water, the relationship of some of the creatures that live there, and an opportunity for communities to go in there because it was a site where, you know, old cars were dumped and trash was dumped. And when community says, hey, this is a cool spot, we want to preserve it, they get in there. There's a group that have been helping clean up, plant native plants, and as you learn more about native plants too, that's a really interesting connection as well, not just to this place, but also as well to many of our communities of origin. You know, maybe the plants that you grew up with as a kid in your families, there is a similar plant in the Pacific Northwest. Or it just kind of reminds you of how maybe your grandparents did gather in the forest and get foodstuffs. And so there's a really lot of cool connections, and Cemetery Pond is a great place to